Strategically located at the heart of Masbate, SDO Masbate Province continues to implement the mandate of the Department of Education to formulate, implement, and coordinate policies, plans, and projects in the delivery of basic education services, composing of 32 districts, 578 elementary schools, 115 secondary schools, one standalone senior high school, 25 integrated schools, and 58 private schools. 140,567 elementary learners, 83,491 junior high school learners, 31,985 senior high school learners, with a total of 255,953 learners. SDO Masbate Province bravely counteracts the challenge of new normal education with the creation of six-point leadership agenda for 2020 to 2022. The Shield Plus. Welcome to SDO Masbate. With an ultimate desire to effectively deliver the curriculum despite the adverse situation confronting the educational system. The Masbate province has delved into Shield Plus. The programs under this are strategic interventions anchored on DepEd Masbate's mandate, goals, and national policies, such that implementation of programs support the department's core business. Projects to be implemented aim to yield more immediate results for specific target groups or may be designed or implemented in support of a program, address learners and other needs not covered by any program, or to experiment, try out, or pilot an innovation or an innovative solution. Furthermore, the activities under this are anchored on program or project and consistent with DepEd's vision and mission and have tangible outputs. The Shield Plus six-point leadership agenda for 2020-2022 will take center stage under the new normal to ensure that education must continue amidst crisis. The Shield Plus.
Seal of exemplary leadership and school governance towards quality, assessing performance of school leaders to mirror quality performance, redirecting governance to foster transformational leadership.
Health programs responsive to evolving needs, promoting healthier behavior and better learning outcomes through the delivery of health and nutrition services to personnel and learners.
Innovations at work, ensuring quality education through continuous improvement along curriculum and organizational processes.
Empowerment of human resource through the lens of lives, increasing human resource knowledge, skills, and motivation in achieving organizational goals through developmental activities and implementation for pride and joy.
Linkages and partnerships for the goals. Bridging gaps of education delivery and partnerships for the connections and maximize stakeholders involvement towards confident learning.
Development of learners beyond borders. Creating visible measures to curriculum delivery among learners regardless of needs and capabilities.
Because here in SDO Masbate, We should today for a better school of tomorrow.
Good day, everyone. We would like to inform everybody to kindly make yourself comfortable in your seats as we're going to begin the activity in just a while now. Thank you. I think that the special thanks to the program implementers, booth designers, and staff. Beautiful indeed, right? How about a big round of applause, ladies and gentlemen? Today is so significant. The division launching of school heads, other personnel, guests, visitors, good morning. To start with, please stand for the Philippine National Anthem, opening prayer, Bicol March, SDO Masbate Hymn. All will be performed by the Aroroy National High School Teachers Choir.
Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Your kingdom come. Your will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debt as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory forever.
welcome. Let's give our applause to our ASTS Fernando C. Macaray.
Thank you so much. To our dynamic assistant regional director, Brunello Alque Firmo, our inspiring and visionary schools division superintendent, Ma'am Nene Rosal Meriones, to my brilliant partner, assistant schools division superintendent in charge of the secondary schools, Joel E. Tolboy, our generous and ever supportive Mayor of the Municipality of Aroroy, Honorable Arturo Bertuccio. Our highly competent functional division chiefs, Maria Dorothy L. Daniel of the CID and Mark Anthony H. Rupa of the SGOD, our curriculum experts, the education program supervisors, our committed public schools district supervisors, our creative school heads, our diligent teachers, the LRP development lead team, the activity management staff, friends, ladies and gentlemen, a happy and wonderful morning to everyone. For around 2 years, the world has been crippled by probably the worst phenomenon that has ever occurred in the present generation. Millions of lives were lost. Millions lost their jobs. Millions lived in hunger and pain. And even this time, we still feel the crippling effects of the pandemic. But life has to go on. As educators, we are very much aware of the fact that in those hard times, learning opportunity was inadequately provided to the Masbateño learners. Hence, the learning losses. Education suffered hard blows, but the good thing is it was never knocked out. Through DepEd's DELCP, we are able to fulfill our mandate to the best we can, commensurate to any given circumstances. Yes, there were losses, but we did not surrender. Fellow educators, please allow me to recognize the important leadership roles our top officials play in these trying times. My salute to our resilient and visionary leaders, R.D. Gilbert, A.R.D. Ronel, and ASDS Nene. You help us see what lies beyond the pandemic. Driven by hope, we work for the attainment of what we see lying behind the pandemic. And because we kept our hopes alive, we are able to sail through rough times. Now we are starting to rebuild and recover what has been broken and what has been lost. It's actually a mini milestone in the history of Philippine education that we have to celebrate. As we launch the SDO Masbate Learning Recovery Plan, may we be reminded of the message of the song, Walk with Faith. Our learning recovery plan is a product of concerted efforts of all the people in SDO Masbate. Everybody can claim his or her contribution to our LRP. It's our plan, though this may not be perfect. This is the plan deemed SDO Masbate must do because we believe that this plan is responsive to the prevailing needs of our division. We have a strong faith in our plan. With our LRP, as the song goes, you'll find that success is just around the bend. Highly esteemed guests, leaders, fellow educators, it's my honor and privilege to welcome you all to this division launching of DepEd SDO Masbate Learning Recovery Plan for 2022 to 2025 in this impressive Villa Candelaria Resort. So once again, a pleasant and wonderful morning to everyone. Mabuhay ang SDO Masbate Province.
Thank you, Sir Boy, for your warm welcome speech. A journey is a journey. Nothing dictates that first you have to climb a mountain and then explore a forest. That's according to the Vili Law Vitae. Ladies and gentlemen, let's witness the LRP journey through an audiovisual presentation.
The world was shaken by the emergence of COVID-19 pandemic, which consequently brought chaos and uncertainties in the Department of Education, being a dynamic aspect of the society. Sudden shift in the operation in all governance levels was employed in the effort of the department to be responsive to the unanticipated circumstances brought by the pandemic. The system was strongly united by the bold and powerful line by our DepEd Secretary, Leonor M. Briones: education must continue. This led the whole organization into unified efforts to stay functional and continue providing basic education despite loss. This line further inspired each element of the department to keep going amidst uncertainties. SDO Masbate Province, in its strong support to the call, has remained stable and focused with my 6-point leadership agenda, the Shield Plus. This served as the bedrock of our operation under the challenging times of the pandemic. However, despite the initiatives, we clearly recognize that those aren't enough to deliver the quality education that every Masbateño learner deserves. The modular distance learning modality, which was the only option we had for the past 2 years, left us with alarming indicators of learning gaps and losses, such as increased number of learners with reading difficulties and low numeracy skills. With a brilliant conceptualization of the Learning Recovery Plan by our innovative Regional Director, Dr. Gilbert T. Sadsad, we further realized that immediate and relevant interventions must be employed in order to address the learning losses and help our learners
cope with the learning adjustments that need to be initiated. We were challenged to further understand our unique situation in our own division by looking into the literacy and numeracy skills of our grades 1 to 3 learners. Let me share with you the unique journey we all shared in coming up with our division learning recovery plan. This LRP had undergone a rigorous process from understanding our current situation through data collection, setting our targets, conceptualizing programs, projects, and activities, aligning our plan to the regional recovery plan, presenting our LRP to our regional execom and consultants, and finally, the launching today.
March 14 to 18, 2022, Ninong's Hotel, Legazpi City. Regional workshop on monitoring and evaluation and curriculum implementation and development and utilization of learning resources for blended learning. March 18 was focused on the initial discussion on the formulation of the regional and division learning recovery plan. It started with the formulation of the division shared vision and SMART goals. March 24 to 25, 2022, Ninong's Hotel, Legazpi City. Regional workshop on the development of appropriate learning resources and assessment tools for blended learning. Shared vision and SMART goals were displayed through a poster. The consultants and ARD Renal Alke Fermo evaluated each and gave comments and suggestions specifically on the alignment of the goals to the target priorities of the region. April 1, 2022, Executive Lounge, SDO Masbate Province. Presentation of the first draft of the Division Learning Recovery Plan. The first draft of the Division Learning Recovery Plan was presented by the core team to the SDS and ASDSS.
Our learning indicators, as evidenced by the literacy and numeracy test results, signal that there is a dire need for us to work synchronously. It is alarming to know that only 26.74% of our 61,355 grades 1 to 3 learners are grade level ready in terms of reading, and 3.72% are transforming along numeracy. Our learners manifest a glaring learning loss. If this scenario is not addressed, this will have a domino effect on the learning acquisition of these learners. There is therefore a need for us to create and do something that would help solve the problem. We need to be innovative and resourceful in thinking of the most relevant and practical interventions based on our context. Our division LRP, I believe, captures practical, evidence-based, and responsive intervention. SDO Masbate Province will continue to employ best practices geared towards better learning outcomes.
April 27, 2022, Executive Lounge, SDO Masbate Province. Presentation of the second draft of the Division Learning Recovery Plan. The core team presented the division target on literacy and numeracy for the next 3 years, aligned to the regional target. Programs, projects, and activities along literacy and numeracy were presented and deliberated on.
Today, we have our existing programs, projects, and activities in our division. However, our LRP shall focus only on those which directly contribute in the improvement of literacy and numeracy skills. We shall try to maximize our resources in order to get desirable results. In the crafting of our LRP, we involve the different program implementers on reading and numeracy as well as other program support activities. We synchronize our plans, targeting one common goal, and that is addressing the learning gaps and losses among our grades 1 to 3 learners. We collaborated with our education partners and stakeholders in conceptualizing our intervention. With all of these, and of course the premises that we have, we are optimistic that we will be able to successfully attain our targets for the next 3 years. So good luck to SBO Masbate. Good luck to all of us.
April 28 to 29, 2022. CIP office and our office. Final revision and inclusion of the suggestions. The core team finalized the LRP and worked on the materials to be used for the regional presentation like flyers, PowerPoint presentation, poster, and the LRP document. May 2 to 3, 2022. Residencia del Amor, Santa Magdalena, Sorsogon. Regional Learning Recovery Plan launching and presentation of the Vision Learning Recovery Plan. SDS Nene Armordoles presented the Division Learning Recovery Plan. May 12, 2022. Executive Lounge, SDO Masbate Province. Refinement of Learning Recovery Plan and final presentation to the SDS, ASDSS, Chiefs, and Program Implementers. May 13, 2022. CIP Office. Finalization of the Division Learning Recovery Plan for submission to the Regional Office. The core team worked on the final comments and suggestions by the SDS, ASDSS, and Program Implementers. May 16, 2022. Approval by the SDS and submission of the Division Learning Recovery Plan to the Regional Office. The Division Learning Recovery Plan was finally signed by the core team and approved by the superintendent. The scanned copy of the LRP was submitted to the Regional Office.
We invest in things which are best for our Masbate learners. Because here in SDO Masbate, we shield to raise.
What a rigorous journey it has been. At this juncture, my friends, may I respectfully acknowledge and at the same time recognize the Division LRP core team. Of course, our team leader, Maria Dorothy L. Daniel. Juan P. Azares, yours truly. Ma'am Cheryl Bermondo PSPS. Rainier Yanson, and Vivian Bungat. Applause, please. This time, may I request the Assistant Regional Director, Schools Division Superintendent, and the two ASDSs, together with the core team, for the unveiling of the Learning Recovery Plan, Shared Vision and Smart Goals. And also the chief of the SDOB. All right, ladies and gentlemen, the the unveiling of the Learning Recovery Plan, Shared Vision Smart Goals. Applause, please. One, two, three. Congratulations, DepEd SDO Masbate Province. Thank you very much. This time, let's give a resounding applause to our innovative and dynamic schools division superintendent for the presentation of the division learning recovery plan for 2022-2025. Our dear Nene Rosal Mariones, CESO5.
Thank you, Wanch. To our highly esteemed keynote speaker, ARD Ronel Alti Firmo, to my SDO Masbate family, my partners, Sir Joel and Sir Boy, to the CID Chief, Ma'am Dorothy Daniel, who's with us in spirit. Of course, the SGOD Chief, Mr. Mark Anthony Rupa, to all present this morning. Maayo na aga po sa atong tanan. Good morning, everyone. This is actually the second time I'll be presenting this division LRP, or Learning Recovery Program. The first was with the top management from the central office and regional office, and other regional management committee members and the consultants. And today, to me, is the most significant, as I'll be presenting this plan to the people who will be the frontliners in the realization of this plan. The COVID-19 pandemic had brought significant disruptions to education. For the last 2 years that schools have been closed, we can already feel the impact of this crisis, not only to the academic outcomes, but more so to the emotional and psychological stability of our learners and even our DepEd personnel. We were never ready for this pandemic, but the situation called for bold and urgent actions, which forced us to build and implement emergency remote learning systems almost immediately. That's when we came up, the division office and our schools, the Basic Education Learning Continuity Plan, to ensure that education continues amidst the difficult situation. Yet, the new modality of learning has given rise to learning losses and even increased inequality. According to the study of Asian Development Bank last year, that for every year of closure, 40% of the supposed learning gains is lost. So 40% learning loss in 2021, another 40% learning loss in 2022. So what kind of future do we expect for our learners? How do we want our 2023 to look like? And how do we envision our 2023? What will happen to our aspirations for our Masbate learners, that their noble dreams will come true? This is basically what pushed the DepEd Regional Office under the leadership of R.D. Gilbert T. Sadsad to work on a 3-year plan which had been cascaded in the 13 divisions in the region. This is the Learning Recovery Plan, a forward-thinking strategy which focuses on each student, the quality of their learning, and their outcomes. The Regional Learning Recovery Plan is dubbed as RACE, or Recovering Academic Achievement, by improving instruction through sustainable evidence-based learning program, which had been crafted under the brilliant leadership of ARD Ronel Ante Firmo. And for STO Masbate, with a call for a recovery plan to address the learning losses, the Shield Plus has been recalibrated, reconfigured, and integrated to achieve its target of delivering basic education services to more than 250,000 Masbateño learners of the 32 school districts composed of 141 junior high school, 124 senior high school, 578 public elementary, and 58 private elementary and secondary schools. Thus, this learning recovery plan with the end in mind that we shield to raise. Let me first introduce to you the shared vision of the division of Masbate province. So this is our vision that by 2025, DepEd STU Masbate province is a leading child-centered learning institution that provides learning recovery programs through quality blended learning instructions and database interventions focused on addressing the learning loss along basic literacy and numeracy skills among Masbateño learners. To carry out its vision, it shall empower its educational leaders and strengthen linkage with stakeholders to initiate programs, projects, and activities that are responsive and relevant to the context of Masbateño learners. Our SMART goals, I hope that everybody would listen intently and put, all the things that you will be saying and you will be hearing by heart. Kasi sabi ko nga, you will be the frontliners in the implementation of this plan. Why do we have to do this? This is a very sad truth. This is the very reason why we have to come up with our learning recovery plan. And we would really want to achieve this. So our goal is to increase the percentage of grade level ready, grades 1 to 3 learners from 26.74% to 100% by the end of school year 2024 to 2025. Our aim, our goal is to have 100% grade level ready because it's only when they are grade level ready that they can proceed to another grade level, that they can be promoted. That's supposed to be the idea. Diba? Hindi pwede sila makapag-proceed to another grade level kung hindi sila grade level ready. So look at that. Let's look at the data here. For grade 1, we only have 16.29% or 16.29% of our learners are grade level ready. So asan yung natitira? Ilan ba yun? That's 83. That's almost 84% are not grade level ready. For grade 2, only 23.03%, meaning 77% are not grade level ready. And for grade 3, 40.91% are grade level ready, meaning 59% are not. Okay? So nakita nyo how alarming the data is, this figure is. And of course, for along literacy, our goal is to increase the percentage of transforming grades 1 to 3 learners from 3.72% to 100% by the end of school year 2024-2025. By the way, this is for numeracy. The first is for literacy. So for grade 1, look at the data. This has been conducted to all the schools yung nag-limited face-to-face. And this is a real data kasi we asked our learners to report to school for this purpose, to conduct this assessment. So for grade 1, pag sinabing transforming, yan na yung pinaka-highest level. And this is equivalent also sa literacy for being grade level ready. Diba? So our aim is for our learners, before they can proceed to the next grade level, to make them transforming in terms of numeracy skills. So look at the data. Look at the figure. In grade 1, only 4.27% is under the transforming level, meaning 95% may be under other levels. In fact, ang pinakamarami ay nandun sa pinakamababang level. Okay? For grade 2, we only have 3.57% under the transforming level. And for grade 3, 3.32%. Very alarming indeed. And I hope that, you can come up with a story behind. You will be realizing there will be a story. There's always a story behind all this figure. And I hope that we'll be able to realize its impact. These are not merely figures. Huwag nating tingnan na numero lang siya. Tingnan nyo siya na mga Masbate learners. These are actually, the Masbate learners na nasa mga paaralan natin. And we have to look at it differently. So, here is our learning recovery plan, or the accelerating learning recovery plan for the next 3 years. There are 3 areas of recovery. There are actually a lot of areas that we need to recover, but we focus on these 4 areas. The first, of course, is curriculum assessment and instruction. This is what we have been presenting. Then another area is the professional development for key personnel. The third is along budget. And the fourth is the academic support and development. So what are we going to do in the next 3 years along curriculum assessment and instruction? So here, the literacy data here is that only 26.74% of the grades 1 to 3 learners are grade level learners. And our objective is to increase the percentage of grade level ready from 26.74 to 100%. And the PPAs that we plan to conduct are the following. We have already the project SAC1, that's the umbrella project of the Curriculum and Implementation Division, which means shelve achievement gaps through wider academic networking. So this is a flagship program of the Curriculum Implementation Division that aims to address the existing achievement gaps in literacy and numeracy. SAC1 in English is PADL. It symbolizes the continued collaborative efforts of STO Masbate top management, supervisors, school heads, and teachers in sailing with synergy towards the desired performance, the port of destination. So our plan, our key performance indicators that for year 1, we hope to increase the grade level ready learners by 50%. For year 2, at least 75%, and for year 3, by 100%. And then another existing program that we need to continue, that we want to continue, is the Rev Up, the Revitalize Enabling Vision through Unlimited Programs for LR. And this is to ensure continuity of basic education along delivery and access to learning resources in the new normal. So STO Masbate, through the CID LRMS, conceptualized and implemented Project Rev Up or Revitalize Enabling Vision through Unlimited Program for Learning Resources. So the project aims to establish a localized system and portal through the LR website, strengthen learning resource development and distribution system at the district and school levels, develop ICT-enabled solutions in the schools to support the strengthening of the LR support system in providing for both online and offline access and serve as the primary source of contextualized learning resources in all subject areas. And right now, we are very much blessed that we have a very strong partnership with USAID ABC Plus that paved way for the development of Masbate books for grades 1 to 3. Another, of course, there should also be on the monitoring side of instructional supervision and monitoring side. And so we continue with the EMAS, or the Enhanced Modified Applicable Supervisory Kit, especially along literacy and numeracy. So this is, I think most of our public schools district supervisors are well aware of this. You have been utilizing it in your instructional supervisory rounds and functions. And we have four kinds of EMASs, and that is EMAS A, B, C, and D. The A is a tool used for classroom observation. EMAS B is a tool used to gather data on the learner's quarterly performance. EMAS C is a template for the monthly supervisory plan, and EMAS D is a template for the monthly supervisory report. Then another project which we would want to continue and had been currently being implemented in the division is the Shield 1. So remember, Shield 1, this was the very first pandemic project that we had in 2020 at the onset of the pandemic. So Shield 1 is school home interactive engagement of learners with deficiencies. It is a summer remediation program for learners under full refresher in reading and needs major support in mathematics using the individual learning activity package or ILAP made or developed by the teachers based on the least mastered competencies. And we believe that our teachers' efforts should also be recognized and rewarded. So we have, alongside rewards and recognition, we continue and we would like to strengthen the rewards and recognition system in the division as well as at the school level with the Natatanging Pagkilala. This is an umbrella program of the rewards and recognition system of STO Masbate under the Prompt Praise. And the system was designed to encourage creativity, innovativeness, efficiency, integrity, and productivity in public service by recognizing and rewarding officials and employees individually or in groups for their innovations, for their inventions, for their accomplishments, and other personal efforts. So here, we will include the search for outstanding reading and math teachers and school with 0 full refresher and need major support learners. This will be included in the annual conduct of the Natatanging Pagkilala. Then another one is Brigada Basa. So this is again an ongoing program or project in the division, our version of the Brigada Pagbasa of the central office. So, Brigada Basa is SDO Masbate reading program that provides various activities for the learners to read and learn while in the comfort of their homes. Parents and stakeholders are empowered to expand support to schools by extending assistance in cash, in kind, and workforce. The use of technology through social media is developed in order for the learners to adjust to the new normal education. The, the next one is actually a new project, which is support towards advancement in reading, or the Project STAR. So every child deserves a star is a program under the umbrella of Brigada Basa with the following objectives: to augment needed intervention of K to 3 learners along reading, to address the learning and reading gaps caused by pandemic, to help learners of K to 3 meet grade level standards, and to acknowledge and appreciate the effort of the school reading team and the stakeholders through proper and recognizable forum. And every child deserves a star. A star requires all school to identify one best reading teacher who will handle the program in the school. So the STO Masbate would like also to commit that there will be additional teachers, particularly for those with teacher needs talaga, like for them to focus only on reading and numeracy. So we will try our very best to provide additional teachers for every school which needs this kind of support. Then let's now proceed to numeracy. So percentage of learners under needs major support is 67.17%. Kanina, we were talking about 3%, 3 point something percent under transforming level. Yun ang pinakamataas na level sa numeracy. Itong needs major support, siya yung nasa pinakamababang level. And we would like to acknowledge also that the Division of Albay for helping us, or for giving us the opportunity to utilize their numeracy assessment tool. Yun ang ginamit natin. That's from the Division of Albay. So look at this, 67.17% is under needs major support. Baka these are the learners who can barely do or perform the 4 basic fundamental operations. So our objective is to increase the percentage of transforming grades 1 to 3 learners from 3.72% to 100% by the end of school year 2024-2025. And our key performance indicators that by 2023, that's next year, we will have an increase of 40%. And for year 2, that's in 2024, we'll be increasing the transforming learners to 80%. And for year 3 in 2025, 100% of our learners are under transforming level. So here are our programs, projects, and activities along improving the numeracy skills of our learners. Most of our activities here identified are new. Kasi, di ba, in the previous years, we focused on literacy. So this year, alongside with numeracy, we will also be conducting programs and projects along numeracy. So the first is Project Bilang. This is a numeracy-focused partnership project that aims to enhance teachers' competence through continuous capacity building, integration of developmentally appropriate activities, utilization of digitized and printed instructional materials, implementation of balanced numeracy program, conduct of progress monitoring and recognition of commendable achievement. It also provides learners with a platform to learn and be able to apply the skills to real life situations. So, another activity, one activity which we have included here is the capacity building. We're done with. Okay, so that's Brigada Bilang. No, Project Bilang. So, Project Bilang. So, the second area of recovery is the professional development for key personnel. So, we were looking at this as one key factor that could have contributed to the failure of our learners to develop, their numeracy and literacy skills. So we have to continuously equip our teachers, and other DepEd personnel in terms of have to capacitate them in terms of teaching literacy and numeracy initiatives and how they could come up with initiatives in their own classrooms. So capacity we have for years building on blended learning modality. And the objective of this is to equip, supervise school heads and teachers with the necessary KSAs on blended learning modality by the end of the school year 2024-2025. So our key performance indicator is that for school year 1, 100% of our supervisors, school heads, and teachers are trained on blended learning. For school year 2, our target would be the newly hired supervisors and school heads and teachers. And for school year 3, again, the new set of newly hired supervisors, school heads, and teachers are trained on blended learning modality. Then another activity, along professional development for key personnel. This is actually an ongoing activity. The capacity building for teachers on teaching reading across learning areas. So we have for 2021-2022, we have already capacitated key teachers who will serve as facilitators and trainers in the respective districts and schools. So in 2022-2023, we hope to have already trained 100% of our teachers. And for the second year of the implementation of this LRP, we will be focusing the capacity building to the newly hired teachers, as well as for school year 3 or the third school year 2024-2025. Another activity along professional development for key personnel is on enhancing the competence of 120 school heads and 96 master teachers based on the PPSSH and PPST through the NAIAP accredited division training courses by the end of the school year 2024-2025. So this will be a continuing program, the Exemplary Leadership and School Governance Academy for school heads and master teachers. For school heads, we're already on our year 2, and for the master teachers, we're in our year 1. So, and one thing that we have included in this academy, in the outputs for this academy, is the module application project of our scholars, which will focus on coming up with an intervention on literacy, an intervention project on numeracy and literacy. So at least they will be making a difference even in their respective schools. Our goal is that for year one, 40 school heads and 32 master teachers. For year two, another 40 school heads and 32 master teachers. And for year three, 40 school heads and 32 master teachers. Then, on another area of recovery, which is budget. Siyempre, if we have programs, projects, and activities, budget or financial resources is very important. So our objective here is to utilize 100% of the annual budget allocated for the Learning Recovery Program. And allocation, our PPA here is that allocation and utilization of budget for Learning Recovery Program will be done by the division as well as the schools. So our KPIs is that for the next 3 years, we will be utilizing 100% of the allocated funds for our Learning Recovery Plan PPAs. And for the last area of recovery, that's the academic support and student development. So there is a need to provide the necessary support for our students in order to be able to achieve our targets. So in this kind of crisis, especially in this kind of education crisis, partnership is very necessary. We cannot just rely on our own resources. We keep on saying that our school resources are not enough. So therefore, we have to strengthen partnership with our stakeholders. And that's one of the objectives along academic support and student development, to strengthen partnership with at least 20 education stakeholders annually to improve the literacy and numeracy skills of grades 1 to 3 learners through the provision of learning support materials, free snacks, meals, health kits, and conduct of tutorial activities. So our PPAs here is partnership and linkages along literacy and numeracy with LGU, NGOs, NGAs, civic society organization, the Parent Teachers Association, private companies, and individuals. Our KPIs for year one, we hope to have 20 partners. For year two, an increase of 5, making it 25. And for school year three, another 30 partners. Then another activity is along academic support and student development is intensifying the homeroom guidance program or XGP in grades 1 to 3. And of course, conduct of psychological first aid to grades 1 to 3 learners. So this is to develop the grades 1 to 3 learners' rational thinking, healthy behavior, positive disposition, and psychosocial and mental well-being for them to be fully engaged in the resumption of face-to-face classes and be adaptive of the new normal set up in education. So for school year 1, we hope to provide HGP SLMs and PFA and conduct PFA to our grades 1 to 3 learners in the next 3 consecutive years. Then all of these projects, programs, and activities that we have mentioned here, plus of course the school-based interventions and innovations that our schools will be coming up in order focusing on numeracy and literacy, our expected output is an improved academic performance of grades 1 to 3 learners in language and mathematics subjects. Of course, we will not be limiting to grades 1 to 3. Our intermediate classes, the grades 4 to 6, and grades 7 to 12 should also be coming up with their with their innovations, with their interventions, and assessing also the literacy and numeracy skills of their respective learners, so that we will be able to address the gaps. Although for these first 3 years, we will be focusing our efforts in the division, as well as the schools will be focused on our grades 1 to 3 learners. So here's the action plan and timelines. So we have already crafted, finalized, and have our division LRP approved by the regional director. Then we are conducting now the launching. Then there will be an orientation to be conducted on the different PPAs, especially the new PPAs that we have mentioned. And reorientation also, kasi may mga inclusions na doon sa mga projects and programs that we are currently implementing. Then, this is actually the highlight of this, that this division LRP will not stop at the division level. We will be asking also our schools to craft or to come up with their own school learning recovery plan, which will focus on the needs of their unique situations in their respective communities and schools. So we will be orienting them how they will be crafting their SLRP, and the submission and approval of that will be within July 2022, before the start of the school year 2022-2023. Then the implementation of the different PPAs from August 2022 to June 2025, the MEA will be conducted twice a year. Then there will be a post-implementation review by June 2025. Monitoring and evaluation is very essential in this kind of project. So we will be ensuring, we can only ensure the proper implementation. We will ensure the proper implementation of the learning recovery plan in the division with the monitoring and evaluation plan, which is or will be formulated. So this covers the different programs, projects, and activities included in the LRP. So each PPA has its own embedded M&E plan. However, an annual division monitoring shall be conducted by the LRP core team to track the status of implementation based on the plan outlined in the table below. M&E on the table on the next slide. Monitoring and evaluation will be conducted twice a year, in the middle and at the end of the implementation. So here's a sample of the monitoring and evaluation tool. Then, of course, the question is, how can we sustain this project? How can we sustain the projects that we have planned and are currently implementing right now? So since this is a 3-year learning recovery plan, primarily formulated as a response to the pressing problems along literacy and numeracy in the entire division office, the attainment of the SMART goals greatly rely on how the plan is implemented and sustained. Just like any other project implementation, the following areas are critical to be considered to ensure smooth and successful implementation of the different programs and activities captured in the plan. Management. So the STO LRP shall be implemented as planned. The details are comprehensively discussed per program and project. There may be a change in leadership, but since the plan is evidence-based and is a decided intervention to address the needs of the division, it is expected that this plan will be supported and sustained. A core team shall be assigned to spearhead the preparatory activities implementation and post-implementation of the LRP. The team shall be tasked to monitor the implementation of both school and the division LRP. The education supervisor in English and mathematics shall lead in the implementation of the PPAs along literacy and numeracy respectively. But I would just like to remind you that we are not boxed, we will not be boxed with just the PPAs that we have mentioned here. In fact, right now, we are thinking of other ways, other bold measures that we think can possibly address this situation. Kaya kahit sa school, you have all the right or the chance to come up with your own initiatives and innovations. On resource allocation, the different PPAs included in the plan are part of the annual plan of activities of the division. Each PPA shall have allocated fund annually in the division work and financial plan. It is also part of the plan to strengthen the linkage and partnership with different stakeholders. All resource generation activities of the division and schools shall all be aligned to the PPAs. The support of NGOs, NGAs, and LGUs and other stakeholders will be tapped. This will ensure the smooth implementation of each PPA. For program review and adjustment, an annual program implementation review will be conducted. Plan adjustment is very essential in implementing a multi-year plan. This will facilitate the tracking of the performance of the division in terms of attaining the targets set in the 3-year learning recovery plan. As indicated in the plan, there is annual target or key KPIs, and this will gauge the effectiveness of the PPAs in addressing the identified problems of literacy and numeracy. The annual result will be used in modifying or making some adjustments on the plan for the succeeding year. So after 3 school years, a continuing plan will be formulated based on the result of the program review, considering the status of the literacy and numeracy rates of the division. The plan will capture the gaps between the target and actual accomplishment during the 3-year LRP implementation. And since this plan captured only grades 1 to 3 learners, a separate plan for the next key stage will be formulated to further sustain the target of the division in improving the literacy and numeracy skills of the learners as they go higher in their basic education. So in STO Masbate, we shield to raise. And on behalf of the top management of STO Masbate Province, I would like to express my profound gratitude to the core team who made this Division LRP possible. Of course, our CID Chief, Ma'am Maria Dorothy L. Daniel, Mr. Juancho Azares, our Division LR Coordinator, our PSDS, Ms. Sharon Bermudo, our SEPs for SMME, Mr. Rainier Yanson, and our representative from the principal group, Ms. Vivian N. Bonger. Thank you very much. Of course, to the PPA owners and implementers, Ma'am Helen Titong, Ma'am Imelda Ricuso for Math and for English, Ma'am Gloria Fontelar for ESP, Mr. Alex Poldo for SOCMOB, for DRRM, Mr. Mark Anthony Rusal, and to all the technical support staff, and to all those who have made this event possible today, the beautiful booths that we have here. Damo-damo po na salamat sa ating mga very creative teachers. And of course, to my team and to the SGO team headed by Mr. Mark Anthony Rupa. It took me just less than an hour to lay down the plans for our learning recovery plan. It seems easy, isn't it? Listening to me, baka ang iba sa inyo sinasabi, sisiw lang yan. We can do that. It seems uncomplicated. It seems the burden is light and bearable, especially if we're not looking at the same perspective. Especially if we're not looking at the figure the same way we're looking at it. I tell you friends, this education crisis is something that we should not take lightly. This is something that we should take by heart. This is a situation that should be taken seriously. Its impact to our children and their lives, its impact to the whole community. This is not about me. This is neither about you. This is not about DepEd. But this is about our children's future, our country's future. This day has even become more meaningful to me as I am reminded by my FB memory of the battle I had last year, a battle against the coronavirus. 1 year na pala. I won. And most of you here, I think all of us here present today, have won this battle, although we're still continue fighting for this battle. But this battle that I have presented to you today is far more important to me. But together, I'm sure that we will win this, no matter what it takes. Thank you and good morning.
Thank you very much, our dear Schools Division Superintendent, Nene Rosal Mayoles. Pwede po mag-request sa lahat. Isa lang naman. Can we all stand and give Ma'am SDS a standing ovation and a big round of applause? Thank you so much. Ma'am Nene has won a battle, and we have won a battle because we have worked as one, and we will continuously work as one. Ladies and gentlemen, I know you have some reflections in the excellent presentation of our dear superintendent, and one thing is for sure, you will get back home. You will go back to your respective stations with a different perspective, changing the mindset. Moving on, my dear friends, let's continue and listen to the introduction of the keynote speaker. Still, our dear superintendent will do the honor.
Once again, a pleasant morning to everyone. Today is a great day for us here in STO Masbate Province, for we have with us a respectable person. His name bears the mark of commendable achievements in government service for his untiring dedication and unwavering compassion. I feel elated to introduce to you a man of virtue and simplicity. It is my distinct honor and privilege to share with you some information that defines our highly esteemed and very prolific guest of honor and speaker for today's launching of the Division Learning Recovery Plan. Our guest of honor exalted a character that made him unique, which are evidenced by all his indelible mark of achievements. With his remarkable educational background, indeed, he is one of the treasures of the Department of Education Region 5. He was a cum laude graduate when he took Bachelor of Arts major in philosophy at Sacred Heart Seminary, Palo, Leyte, and also a graduate of Bachelor of Laws at Leyte Colleges, Tacloban City. His portfolio in his field of profession became incredibly fascinating as he earned his degree as Doctor of Philosophy, major in Educational Programs Management from the Leyte Institute of Technology, Tacloban City. Being an outstanding public servant, born a self-made leader, he started his career at Philippine Science High School, Eastern Visayas Campus, serving as a science research assistant and later as registrar for a couple of years. He then served as special science teacher for 7 years. He did not stop dreaming in becoming an efficient and effective public servant. With his overwhelming desire to serve, he then became a senior education program specialist in the Department of Education Regional Office 8 and later served as Assistant Schools Division Superintendent in Ormoc City Division and in Biliran Division. With countless accomplishments in the Department of Education, he then became a praiseworthy leader as he rendered his service as Schools Division Superintendent in Region 8 for more than a decade. He started in Tacloban City Division for 4 years, more than 1 year in Northern Samar Division, and more than 6 years in Leyte Division. Eventually, he then served as OIC Assistant Regional Director in DepEd Regional Office 3 in year 2019. And from September 2020, he became our OIC Assistant Regional Director, and faith and determination led him to where he is now, our full-fledged Assistant Regional Director in DepEd Regional Office 5. Coupled with an impressive background, it's not therefore surprising that his commitment and devotion in government service for almost 3 decades now have made him garner prestigious awards and recognition. To name a few, he was awarded as a model employee at Philippine Science High School, Eastern Visayas Campus, also an outstanding teacher for 6 years at Philippine Science High School, Eastern Visayas Campus. He was awarded as 2018 Outstanding Schools Division Superintendent in DepEd Regional Office 8 and 2020 Gawad Career Executive Service or Gawad SES National Finalist of Career Executive Service Board. Despite all the accomplishments and accolades he received in his career, our guest is able to keep balance in all aspects of his life. And one critical aspect, of course, is the family. This time, I let you know him better as a family man. Fritz, he is unquestionably a loving father and husband. Being a father of 4 equally gifted children is a glory he always kept. Namely, Charmaine, Ronelli, and Firmo. Charmaine, Ronelli, and Firmo. Parehas rin. Sorry. And just like an old saying, our guest is a living example that behind a successful man is a woman. But in this case, our guest is not only blessed with an ordinary woman, but a very supportive, loving wife, a career woman, Mrs. Carmen Nuevo Firmo, an associate professor of UP Manila School of Health Science, Palo, Leyte. Having said all those, it is indeed an honor and pleasure to have with us a seasoned educational leader, a living inspiration to all of us, and a man of action. Friends, please join me in welcoming with a resounding applause our very own Assistant Regional Director, Dr. Ronello Al K. Firmo, Session 5.
Such a remarkable background and accomplishment, simply amazing. I think my dream of becoming an assistant director is far from reality, sir, because I'm not a cum laude. Just kidding. Ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause again to our keynote speaker for his message, Sir Ronelo Al. K. Fern.
Guided leaders. Thank you so much, everyone. So, Ma'am Nene, thank you very much for the very generous introduction. First of all, I would like to thank SDO Masbate through Ma'am Nene for inviting me to be part of your launching of your learning recovery plan. Actually, two-in-one activity yung pagpunta ko dito sa Masbate. The first one is to attend your launching of your learning recovery plan. And the second one, as the chairman of the inspectorate team of the regional office, we are here to inspect 10 schools recommended for the conversion from elementary school to an integrated school or for the opening of new secondary school in the province of Masbate. Yesterday, 2 days ago, I was in Balot. We were able to visit Victory Elementary School. We were in the divisions recommended for the conversion of the Victory Elementary School to integrated school. Then in Salvacion Elementary School and in Palanin, which is for the opening of senior high school. Then yesterday, I was really in Aroroy because we visited the proposed Syndicate National High School and the proposed integrated school in Manamok Elementary School. So I was so impressed, actually, Ma'am Nene, I was so impressed with the preparations of the schools, especially for the conversion and the creation of the schools. I'm so happy that I was able to see the support of the local government unit, especially the municipality of Marusan. I'm thanking Mayor Arturo Tuscio because I was so surprised when I visited the Syndicate National High School. Now I thought that what will be constructed will just be a makeshift classroom, but when I arrived at the school, naka-fence, tapos meron ng 6 classroom available for use for the school year 2022-2023. And also in Manamok, meron ng 2 constructed building intended for grade 7 and grade 8. Ganyan po na-prepared yung Masbate province and the full support of the local government unit. And I'm also, I would like also to appreciate the effort of the division of Masbate because the conversion of an integrated or the creation of new high school is one way in addressing the problem of dropout. Kasi nakita naman po natin in our KPIs, especially on dropout, mataas talaga yung dropout rate in the province of Masbate. We have a very high dropout rate. It's because of the problem on access. But with the conversion of the schools into an integrated school or the creation of new high schools, we are able to provide access to the students. Just imagine that with the sharing of the parents, with the sharing of barangay officials, out of 100, only 5 will continue, will be able to finish high school. So ibig sabihin, 80% yung mortality. Kay kung titingnan natin yung Manamok, yung nearest high school is in Luya, or they will go to Milagros, or they will go to Baleno. Ganyan po yung nilalakad ng mga bata. Or kung magsasakay naman sila ng motor, habal-habal, malaki yung ginagasto ng parents. Especially now na pamahal yung gasolina, pamahal yung pamasahe. So again, thank you so much, Ma'am Danny, for inviting me to be part of your division. Good morning, everyone. Mayad na adlaw sa entero na presente niyan para sa division launching sa Learning Recovery Plan sa SDO Masbate. My greetings and congratulations, of course, to SDS Nelly Argones, with her ASDS as well, ASDS Boy Makaraig, and Sir Chobot Koolboy, and to all the CID supervisors and technical working group, especially our LR team, to the SGOD headed by Sir Mark Anthony Rupa, for making this event possible today. My deepest appreciation to all of you. This activity signifies your commitment to pursue and apply the strategic interventions to recover the learning losses of our learners. R.D. Gilbert and I, so si R.D. Gilbert, supposedly siya yung mag-a-attend dito, but unfortunately, is now in Baguio because ongoing ngayon yung mga transition with the incoming secretary, Secretary Sara Duterte. So may mga ongoing transition na ginagawa ng central office para po smooth yung transition with the incoming administration. R.D. Gilbert and I are very grateful for the support and active cooperation of our supervisors and personnel who are doing their best to push through with your division LRT. 2 years since the emergence of the pandemic, we have seriously responded to the challenges that threaten the continuity of basic education in the country. With very limited time and urgent demand, we were able to overhaul the curriculum delivery system while carefully abiding with the health and safety protocols. With your Project Shield Plus, we were able to deliver without compromising our learners' health and security. The effective adjustments in our policies, such as the utilization of different platforms and the consideration of the MELCs, were just provisional remedies. Kumbaga, mag-survive lang at may tawid ang bawat araw ng bawat taong punuruan habang may COVID-19 pandemic. Now that we are conquering the pandemic, as we have meticulously applied the health protocols in and outside the schools relevant to teaching and learning, it is also high time to frame our focus on the quality of teaching and learning, especially in addressing the learning gaps or losses. That is why today is the right time to apply and implement the learning recovery plan, knowing that this is the most sensible and the most responsive action we have to do for our learners. We have been informed by the different institutions concerning education and children welfare, such as World Bank, UNICEF, and DECA itself, that there is an emerging and alarming learning losses amongst our learners, most especially in the early grades. Even without the figures, it is evident. Nakita naman siguro natin during the monitoring ng ating mga schools when the limited face-to-face classes resumed last November 2020. Our learners are reading moderately well on average, but generally below expectations. Diba kung titingnan natin sa result ng Carla and on the data presented by our schools division superintendent, yung regional average for grade 1, only 30% of our learners are ready for grade 1. Pero mas grabe pala dito sa dito sa Masbate because only 15% yung ready for grade 1. For grade 2, 60% lang yung ready for grade 2. But dito sa sa Masbate mas grabe, only around 25% yung ready for grade 2. And for grade 3, around mga around 60% lang yung ready for grade 2. So mataas masyado yung problema natin when it comes to literacy. Comprehension and decoding skills are underdeveloped, and there are observed systemic inequities between boys and girls on both rural and urban areas, especially in the early grades level. Aside from this, the most effective instructional strategies are the most underperformed by teachers across all domains of practice. Teachers are struggling to provide supplemental reading materials to their learners School readers support practices are not translating especially well to instructional practice or use of materials in classrooms. These are just some of the notable impacts in learning brought about by the pandemic that we must earnestly address. The data and statistics that we have gathered and have analyzed by now cannot tell untruths and conscientious educators. We must respond for the sake of our learners. What I would like to put emphasis now is why we ought to do the learning recovery plan. Number one, to ensure that our learners today will not suffer a great disadvantage in education versus the previous and incoming generation of learners. Number two, ensure that these learners recover what have been lost that should have been there and have been learned of. According to our regional director, ito yung plan ng regional office, but the division office is not precluded from revising the plan of the regional office. Supposedly, before the end of the school year, dapat po nag-conduct na yung division office ng end of the year readiness assessment for numeracy and literacy. So dapat po nakapag-conduct na tayo para at least in the next 2 months, for the month of June and July, mag-prepare na po tayo kung ano yung gagawin natin for the start of the school year 2022-2023. So saan natin gagawin yung learning recovery plan? Gagawin natin yung learning recovery program in the first 10 weeks of the school year. Di ba kung mayroon tayong tinatawag na 10-week curriculum, yung learning recovery program natin, doon natin gagawin po. And according to our regional director, dapat po in the 10-week curriculum program po natin or learning recovery program, we will just focus on reading, writing, and arithmetic, mathematics po. So saan po ilalagay natin yung ibang subject areas? It will be integrated po in reading. It will be integrated in our in these 3 subject areas: reading, writing, and numeracy. So again, dapat po nakapag-conduct na tayo ng literacy, yung sa Carla, yung Carla natin. Nakapag-conduct na ba tayo, Ma'am Nene? Tapos na ba, mga taga-CID? Ongoing pa. Then, dapat din po nakapag-conduct na tayo ng end of the year numeracy test using the Albay tool. Tapos na? Tapos na. Okay. So, after the conduct of these activities, dapat po mag-analyze na tayo so that we can already identify the learners who will undergo the learning recovery program. So doon po yung pabibigyan natin ng focus. Again, it will be conducted in the first 2 months of the school year. Kaya sabi namin kanina ni Ma'am Nene, kung maaari po, wala tayong mga other activities of these first 2 months of the school year 2022-2023. Dapat po walang mga training, walang mga interruptions. Dapat po nakatutok yung teachers natin on the learning recovery program. The third one is to prompt us to focus on employing strategic remedial interventions addressing the challenges in proficiency. Kaya nga, nakafocus yung learning recovery program natin on reading, writing, and arithmetic of mathematics. And lastly, to prioritize our resources to diminish learning losses and mitigate the impacts in basic education, most especially in the people field. I commend the efforts and dedication of our schools and your SDO in conceptualizing our shared vision and smart goals that will define the framework of the plan which we are tagging as RACER 5. Ito po yung pangalan ng LRP na regional RACER 5. And today marks the beginning of this MVG in your division. Today's event will be one of the monumental highlights in our commitment to learning and education, not only because we are pioneering this novel response, but because we know this is what our learners need from us as their mentors and loving parents. All I can ask for is that for our school teachers and school leaders to remain as sensitive, caring, and committed in pursuing our mandate, especially during these trying times. This is our vocation. This is what we are called to do in this lifetime. Let's work together and make a better future for the next generation. Let us always remember what Marie Curie said a long time ago. You cannot hope to build a better world without improving the individuals. So for the next 3 years, we hope that your division LRT, dubbed as we shield to raise, has significant outputs and results as you have targeted in your learning recovery program. Kaya natin ito ipatagusta ang pagkanuod. Thank you and good morning, Council.
Thank you very much, ARD Firmo. And according to Sir, it's one of the monumental highlights to address the learning needs of our learners. Again, please give him a big round of applause. Thanks a lot, sir, for your motivational words, and hopefully this will create positive change in us. This time, may I request our Schools Division Superintendent to award the plaque of appreciation to our keynote speaker. And the citation reads, Republic of the Philippines Department of Education, Region 5 Schools Division of Masbate Province. Plaque of appreciation is awarded to Ronelo Al K. Firmo, Assistant Regional Director, RO5, in recognition of his role as keynote speaker during the division launching of DepEd SDO Masbate Learning Recovery Plan, held at Villa Candelaria Hotel and Resort, Malubi Arroy, Masbate on June 9, 2022. Many are Mariola Certified Schools Division Superintendent. Thank you very much once again. And Masbate Province has also something for you, sir. Thank you, sir, Commitment is what transforms a promise into reality. That's according to Abraham Lincoln. This time, my friends, let's commit ourselves to give our 101% support to our division LRP for 2022-2025. And as a symbolic indication of commitment, I would like to invite our ARD, SES, and the ASDS says to be followed by the core team, education program supervisors and division coordinators, PSDSS, SGO, the team headed by the chief and other personnel to for the commitment of support signing. This shall be done by fives. And the commitment of support is right there at the back. By five po, again, ARD, ASDS, ASDSS, and chief. Next in line, please, the education program supervisors. After the education program supervisors, that's to be followed by the public schools district supervisors, again by five. May we request the signing, the commitment signing to be done by district. PSDSS together with the principals in their respective district. Para hindi po tayo magkumpulan dyan, I request the others to please wait for your post or for your district to be called. We start from Aroroy East. Again, I request everyone to please wait for your district to be called. Okay. PSDSS, school heads in their respective district. Aroroy East to be followed by Aroroy West. Yung iba po na hindi pa tinatawag the district, kindly go back to your respective tables or seats. Thank you. Para hindi po tayo magkumpulan. Aroroy East and Aroroy West, okay na po. Baleno District. After Baleno, that's to be followed by Balot North and Balot South, including your students. Next is Claveria North and Claveria South. After Claveria North and Claveria South, next is Dimasalam. Dimasalang, Dimasalang is done. After Dimasalang, Esperanza. Esperanza, next in line, please. After Esperanza, Katayan East and Katayan West. After Katayan East and Katayan West, may we request Batuan. I forgot Batuan. Batuan, next in line, please. Batuan. And after Batuan, we move to Batri. Joke. Batuan, after Batuan. Mandaon North and Mandaon South. Mobo North and Mobo South is next or are next. Next, Milagros East and Milagros West. Montreal, please prepare. Palanas North and Palanas South. You're the next. Again, Palanas North and Palanas South. POB Corpus, please fall in line. Next, Cluster East and Cluster West. Next is San Fernando. After San Fernando, San Jacinto. That's to be followed by San Pascual North and San Pascual South. Uson North and Uson South. Next is the SGOD family. After the SGOB team, we would like to request also the other personnel to sign in the commitment for our 2022 to 2025 LRT. The section heads are requested for commitment signing. All right, you may now go back to your respective seats. Again, please go back now to your respective seats. We're not yet done. Overwhelming elation sweeps us as we gather today to acknowledge the most talented, the most innovative, dedicated, committed pool of our institution, the best performers of this division. Friends, the award is in the 2021 Search for Best Functional Division, Section, Units, and Special Awards.
Brains like hearts go where they are appreciated. And so today, we will give appreciation and recognition to the factional division, unit, and section in the division. I'd like to invite ARD Ronel Alque Fermo here on stage for the awarding of plaque and cash prizes to our winners. Yes, tama po ang narinig ninyo. Sana all, that's right. Mapapasana all na lang po tayo lahat. This is part of the program on awards and incentives for service excellence. This is 2021 Search for Best Functional Division and Unit and Section. Special award. Let's begin with the special award, Client Satisfaction Award. This award is given to offices per functional division who obtained the highest client satisfaction rating both from the online survey and customer satisfaction survey facility in the division. They will receive a plaque of recognition. Walang cash dahil hindi na po nila kailangan. Client Satisfaction Award goes to Office of the Schools Division Superintendent, with of course the head, SDS Nene Amerioles. Disclaimer, hindi po ito luto. Hashtag the serve. Client Satisfaction Award is also given to Office of the Chief ES CID with Madam Maria Dorothy Aldeño, Chief ES. In behalf of Mom Dottie are the lovely and handsome Education Program Supervisors of the Curriculum Implementation Division. A round of applause, everybody! Congratulations! Client Satisfaction Award is also awarded to Office of the Chief ES SGOT with the head, Sir Mark Anthony H. Rupa, Chief ES. Again, a round of applause, everyone. For the following awards, I'd like to invite Ma'am Nene, Sir Joel, and Sir Boy to join Sir ARD here on stage. We will now be awarding the Best Factional Unit and Section. They are judged based on this criteria: IPCRF, implementation of work financial plan from January to December 2021 fiscal target, innovations to ease work, accomplishments from January to December 2021 with significant impact to the 6-point leadership agenda, conducive working environment, punctuality and attendance, customer satisfaction survey results. Best functional unit or section from the Office of the Schools Division Superintendent. Third place, Legal Unit. Unit Head, Attorney Larry B. De La Fuente. Attorney 3, to receive a plaque of recognition and 3,000 pesos. Any representative from the legal unit? All right, congratulations. Second place, personal section. Section head, Sir Navi F. Torres, Admin Officer 4, to receive a plaque of recognition and 4,000 pesos. Congratulations, and now the first place goes to Information and Communications Technology Unit. Unit Head Sir Roel A. Cortez, IT Officer 1, to receive a plaque of recognition and 5,000 pesos. Hashtag Bekenem. That's from the Office of the Schools Division Superintendent. Let's now move to the Curriculum Implementation Division. Why kusmod daw po? Third place goes to Learning Resource Management Unit. Unit with Sir Juancho P. Azares, EPS 1, and Sir Robert Bonita, PDO 2, to receive a flag of recognition and 3,000 pesos. Kinakabahan na ang ibang mga taga-CID. Second place, Instructional Management Unit, ESP, with our EPS, Madam Gloria E. Fontanar, also to receive a plaque of recognition and 4,000 pesos. Congratulations, Ma'am Bro. First place. Mukhang may manlilibre. Instructional Management Unit, MAPE. With our EPS in MAPE, Madam Marma L. Capellan, to receive a plaque of recognition and 5,000 pesos. Congratulations! We now move on to the School Governance and Operations Division, na kanina ay bribe ako pero hindi nagpatinag ang aking loob. Third place, Planning and Research Section, with the Senior Educational Program Specialist, Sir Paul Joel R. Blancaber. Ma'am Elaine D. Silverio, Planning Officer 3. Ma'am Teresa Ceniza, Admin Officer 2. They will receive a plaque of recognition and 3,000 pesos. Congratulations, planning and research. Second place, social mobilization and networking session. With our recepts, Sir Alexander G. Poldo, Sir Robert E. Estipona, Education Program Specialist 2, Sir Mark Anthony Rizal, and Sir Jerry E. Cabu, Public Affairs Coordinator. They will receive a plaque of recognition and 4,000 pesos. And the first place goes to Human Resource Development Section. With, of course, attorney Melody A. Vargas, SEPS, and Sir Christopher I. Alvarez, Education Program Specialist 2. With Sir Paul Joan Blancabel. They will receive a plaque of recognition and 5,000 pesos. Congratulations to all the winners. Let's now have another special award. Outstanding Education Program Supervisor. Congratulations, Madam Marma L. Capillan, EPS 1 Fort Mapet, to receive a plaque of recognition and 2,000 pesos. Congratulations, Ma'am Marma. Another special award. Outstanding Non-Teaching Personnel Level 2. To receive a plaque of recognition and 2,000 pesos. Congratulations! Sir Roel A. Cortez, IT Officer 1, and Attorney Melody A. Vargas, Senior Education Program Specialist. Hashtag Takot Award. Congratulations once again. And now, we will have the awarding for the best functional mission. They are judged based on this criteria: office performance rating, implementation of work financial plan from January to December 2021, physical target, innovations to ease work, support to the implementation of Shield Plus, customer service satisfaction survey results. Third place, to be awarded by ARD, to receive a plaque of recognition and 5,000 pesos. Third place goes to Office of the Schools Division Superintendent. Palakpakan po. Everyone who are under the Office of the Schools Division Superintendent, please join Ma'am Nene here. Congratulations, OSDS. Second place to receive a plaque of recognition and 10,000 pesos. Second place, Curriculum Implementation Division. I'd like to invite the PSDSS to join us here on stage. Inviting all the PSDSS. A round of applause, everybody. Congratulations, Curriculum Implementation Division. First place goes to School Governance and Operations Division. They will receive a plaque of recognition and 15,000 pesos. Congratulations once again, SGOD, and thank you so much to our congratulatory panel. May we all continue to shield today for a better school of tomorrow, because here in SDO Masbate, we shield not only to raise, but also we shield to praise.
Thank you very much, Ms. Carla, for facilitating the awarding of this year's or 2021 search for Best Functional Division Section Unit and of course the special awards. This time, let's welcome ASDS Joel Calboy for the acknowledgement.
Thank you. As an old saying says, the ultimate purpose in life is to appreciate and recognize whatever good that we have. And so in this concluding part, please allow me to give sincerest gratitude to the precious time and effort of our Assistant Regional Director, Ronelo Al K. Hiro, for all the inputs, guidance, and ideas he has shared to us, enough to inspire all of us as we embark on this journey to salvage the learning losses and to recondition our learners to where they were prior to the COVID, or perhaps to be better than what they are today. A gratitude also to the transformative and servant leadership of SDO Masbate, led of course our very own Madam Nene Almerioles, with my efficient best partner and colleagues, ASBS Fernando C. Macalaig, SGOD Chief Mark Anthony Lupa, CID supervisors and staff, with special mention, of course, to Madam Dote Diniel, who led the team in coming up with a blueprint on the learning recovery. And a gratitude also to all those in one way or another help us in this launching, and of course, our identified internal and external stakeholders who have already expressed their willingness and generosity to assist us in this serious business for our students. My good fellows, everyone here, it is more than words in acknowledging you, but the more that we need you to be with us in this business to salvage the learning gaps and losses. This LRP could be another toil and another 3 long years of challenge to all of us in the SDF. But we need to act just for the sake of our students. As once said by DepEd Secretary Lili, there may be suffering in our efforts, but there could be also a joy when we succeed. That is a joy in suffering. My good fellows, we need to continue to be shielded to race. We need to shield for a better tomorrow, for a better Masbate. Good day to everyone.
Thank you very much, ASDS Joel Calboy. This time, I'm asking my sincerest apology for I wasn't able to call in the Kawayan East and Kawayan West to signify the commitment. Thank you so much. I think my apology is accepted, right? Thank you. In line with our national campaign for quality education, Sulong Inukalidad, the Office of the Undersecretary for Administration and Public Affairs Service have produced the Department of Education's theme song and music video entitled Isang Pangarap, which highlights the reforms introduced by the current administration. Isang Pangarap, which is composed by Arnie Mendaros, captures the agency's vision. We dream of Filipinos who passionately love their country and whose values and competencies enable them to realize their full potential and contribute meaningfully to building the nation. Ladies and gentlemen, let us all sing with pride and conviction, Isang Pangarap.